I feel like we got to do a lot. I feel like I got to do a lot during this series. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I'm going to be posting edited versions of this video, or of these hunts. Otherwise, if you look up there in the chat for the stream elements, those are the 4 videos that I have currently on my YouTube channel that are currently out to view. So there's that. And now then, I think it's time I go into the review of this game, or how I feel about it. So before I do that, let's see. I feel like I have the right kind of, yeah. I have the right music for this. I don't know if it'll play though, or I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Can you hear it? Yeah. Now, this is a YouTube video, so I put it on loop, so you might hear the same thing over. So, yeah. Now, for my review. So, I played this all the way from Rise to Sunbreak, and I felt like this game was very short. But, it had its ups and downs. Now, I've mentioned throughout stream about its downs, so I'll start with the positives of this. So, I like the weapon choices. I like the armor choices. Some of these monsters here, I feel. A couple of them coming back, a couple of them that actually held up to scrutiny. So, I like the fact they brought back Damio in this game. He was fun to hunt. He makes it for a fun punching bag in this game, honestly. A couple of others, especially. I liked Bishaten. I liked Blood Orange. Basarios was an okay one. The Wraths were as annoying as always. Yeah. I feel like my favorite monsters in this game. Violet Mizutsune, definitely one of them. When Violet Mizutsune came out, I felt like that really felt like a boss fight when I fought it. It brought back memories of other games when I played. So, I feel like Violet Mizutsune, as well as, let's see, who else is there in here? As well as Risen Shigaru and Amatsu. I feel like they were great fights. Geismagorm was a meh boss. I feel like Shara Ishvalda from Iceborne is better, in my opinion. I like the fact they brought back Valstrax, Crimson Glow in the Rise version. I felt like that was a good addition to the game. Now, the armor sets, the mechanics, they were okay. I like the new maps, Citadel, as well as like some old ones that returned from the older games. I did like those. Yeah. I feel like they did a good job with implementing Valstrax and making him a very difficult monster. Especially with the new system, whereas in GU, he's a faster monster, whereas in this game, it's a little more slow-paced. Not as slow as Iceborne, mind you, because Iceborne and World focus more on like the exploration factor. I feel like this one was more on the grinding side, especially for the anomalies. Now, the Afflicteds are a mixed bag to me. I mean, I liked hunting them. I feel like the grind itself, the AR stuff, I feel like that was a little bit of a slog. And I've played 600 to 700 hours of this game, and I feel like I'm still not at AR 300, or even at the cap. I think I reached the cap probably once throughout my adventure in this game. I like the layered stuff. I like the augments. I don't like the RNG factor of augments, though. I feel like they're a waste, but that's beside the point. I really like the Palamutes. I think out of everything in this game, I think my favorite mechanic in all of Monster Hunter, probably in all of Monster Hunter, and I've played Free Me Night, Monster Hunter Free Me Night, all the way up to here, basically. That's how far back I'm talking about. So I had to deal and suffer through like Palicos, Shakalakas, but I feel like by far my favorite mechanic and favorite addition to the franchise are these Palamutes. Are these adorable little fellows right here. I like the ride feature. I like everything about these Palamutes. I'm a dog person. I'm a canine person. How can I not enjoy having these Palamutes around? And the fact that I can have them instead of Palicos for my adventures, the not so helpful Palicos. I know that there are some good Palico mechanics in this game that I've seen throughout like hunting with like you guys or with like randos, but I just could not enjoy the Palicos in the game. And that's why through the series I just did Palamutes, and the Palamutes did not disappoint once. They were very, very helpful throughout every hunt I've gone through. I love the Volcana skin especially. I feel like the Volcana skin was a very good addition as well. So nothing but praise for the Palamutes. Do not get rid of this in Monster Hunter 6. Yes, I mistakenly said Monster Hunter World 2, but I'll get to that in a bit after the review's over. Because after the review, I have to say that I have a couple of things I need to get off my chest. But continuing with the review. So the item system is okay. I like some of the quality of life items as well. The melting of the talismans. I like the talisman mechanics especially. It made getting better skills, better utilities for your set a lot more easier. It felt similar in Rise for randomizing, but they made it less RNG dependent with Title Update 5. I know there's something else here as well, but I'm not going to get to that. But I like the fact they benefited the talisman system, and it's not something you just collect through missions anymore, and it's just something you get through, like, just crafting in general. Yeah. Augmenting is okay. I don't like the RNG factor for augmenting armors, but when they do work, boy do they do work. Grinding AR just to augment your weapons especially, again, it's a slog. But once you actually do it, it feels rewarding. It feels slightly more rewarding in that situation, you know? Mind you, there are a lot of superficial builds out there. Some I've adapted to my own, others I've just not paid attention to. I don't know if I'm missing any other positives I can think of here. I love the haiku in the Rise take of this. I love the haiku that introduced every monster into the game with their own theme, with their own cutscene. I thought that was a good little quality of life thing for this game. It made it far more... It made it more impactful to hunt them for the first time. It was definitely a fun addition that they added. I'm going to miss that, I will say. Let's see. I like the fact they remade Jungle. The Jungle map that was literally in this franchise since the beginning. I like that they definitely upped the ante on that and made it a far more explorative map. Very much more complete, actually. Much more complete. So, yeah, I actually enjoyed that. The new maps were okay. Citadel and Shrine were good maps. They were okay, in my opinion. But, yeah. I can't really think of any other praise I can give this game. If I missed anything, you can let me know in chat. But, yeah. Alright, now to the negatives. Where do I begin? Let's see. I have to say the weapon balance sucks. The weapon balancing in this game is awful. I can't tell you how many bowgunners I have come across throughout, like, doing SOSs. By far, the most annoying thing was the aggro system throughout the SOSs. They were painstakingly just irritating to deal with and boring. Just boring. Having 3 bowgunners while you're only a greatsword user, it's not fun. You're chasing the monster for 45 minutes and they're just pulling aggro left and right. And the developers said that they patched that. I don't believe it. I've seen it too many times to believe that. Now, I didn't know about this until like later on in the series, but I did not realize how much they butchered the lances in this game. I did not realize how butchered they pretty much nerfed the lances, especially gun lance. It's nice that they fixed it a bit in the later updates, but I gotta say, I'm disappointed with the weapon balancing. I really am. And Capcom did put out a... Capcom, on the other hand, they did put out a chart for most used weapon. Let's see. Number 1 is longsword, dual blades, light bowgun, bow, greatsword, switch axe, charge blade, heavy bowgun, sword and shield, insect glaive, hammer, hunting horn. And then at the very, very bottom of that list of most used weapons are the lances. Literally. Lance being at the very bottom. I had never used lance myself, but I always thought lance was a good weapon. Just not as good as gun lance. But that doesn't excuse the fact that they were just underused. Also, Capcom, I disagree with your charting here. I put both light and heavy bowgun at the top, longsword, dual blade afterwards, and then everything else following after that. That's where I disagree with you. Now, I was trying to emphasize this earlier. Yeah, they did get buffs, but just not enough. And that last patch at the very end of the game where they took away the benefit of like the gust crabs for lance, I felt like that was stupid. That was not necessary. For a weapon that's hardly used and you get rid of such a benefit, it wasn't even an exploit either. It was intended. And they remove it. Like, what? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? It was awful. Not necessary. Work on your balancing. Work on your weapon balancing, Capcom. That's one negative I have for you right there. Now here's another one I'm trying to implement here. So here I am just running, trying to talk to someone. There's an instance where it doesn't work, and it's making me want to ride my Palamute, like so. There's a lot of input lag, especially for some of your moves. Part of that probably is the greatsword nerfs, which pretty much adds to the idea of like bad weapon balancing. But here's another mechanic I hate. The wirebug mechanic is awful. So I can just run out, and then I'm vulnerable until they recharge. And the wirebug system is for every weapon. Yes, balancing is important, but it didn't really do much quote unquote balancing. Zellstern brought up the point about it balancing the longsword, but it didn't. It's still as busted as it was in World. Maybe a little nerf here and there, but not by a lot. The wirebug system has got to go. Like, seriously. The wirebug system has got to go. It is an awful mechanic. I'd rather take the clutch claw than the wirebug system. It's awful. Yes, it gives you more exploration. Yes, it gives you more of a strategy for you to utilize your use your wirebugs, but it's just not good. I really think they could have done better with the mechanic. Now, how about this one? How about this one here? The wall running. The wall running here is just atrocious. It should not be a matter of, like, run to a wall and then wall run. It should be, like, run to a wall, then press A, and then... Or do this. Or just use wire bug and run up it. Not have it be automatic. Because there are situations where you're trying to avoid the monster, you're trying to run, but then you accidentally wall run. And you get yourself killed. Right? Is it a bad bet? Is it a bad button press? Is it intentional? I don't understand it. I mean, what the hell do I know? I've played 600 to 700 hours of this game. So, what do I know, right? Now, another problem I have, especially, the monster list. Oh yeah, this one. This one especially. Apexes. Apex monsters for Rise. Now, here's a mechanic that was, like, brought in and discarded. It's like, where's the lore? Where's the purpose for these monsters, you know? Where's the purpose for these Apex monsters being in the game? Except to provide a challenge. No armor set can be made, no weapons are needed. Rampage skills for a weapon when you're just playing Rise, but where's the purpose? What's the point of these monsters? What's the point of these Apexes? What's the point? Can someone tell me what the point of these Apex monsters are except to provide a challenge? Like, seriously. What's the point? Yeah. You're not wrong about that one, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I first noticed that it was like fighting Red Helm when I fought Apex Arceros. Dread Queen, Soul Seer, Dread King, Bloodbath. Okay, I will admit Apex Diablos was fun to hunt. I admit hunting him in the Anomaly quests, I admit he was fun. Probably my favorite of them because it reminds me of Bloodbath, even though it's a nerfed down version of him. Probably second favorite form of Diablos in the series. First one being Bloodbath, and then the third being Black Diablos. But yeah. Now, the Risen monsters. Now, I like the Risen monsters. They got more of a purpose in the game because of the Quiros. But then it's like, yes, we get Chameleos back. I'm happy with Chameleos being in the game. We got the three Elder Dragons back. Kushala is nerfed back to the ground where he belongs, as opposed to being completely busted in Iceborne. Even his Risen form is the weakest, honestly. But then it's like you get these monsters, and then you get like this exponential spike to this guy here. Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax, if anything. I like Valstrax as a dragon. I think he's a very cool design. I think he's awesome, but boy, did they over-tune him. He is not Fatalis. He's not a one-tap kill. Not a one-tap KO monster. He's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be a rushdown monster. Not a combo-heavy monster. Another thing I hated, especially, were the combo monsters. The combo moves these monsters can do, not necessary. Keep it in Frontier. Keep it there. Leave it out of the main series, please. Especially. Yeah. I put Risen Crimson Glow at my number 1. Like, my number 1 most hard monster to fight. I'm sure there's others who could do it better than me, and I don't care. This guy is the hardest monster on my list. For a litany of reasons. Also, can you count how many monsters are in this game? Can you count how many monsters we have in this game, by the way? I counted like 30-something. Like 30, 32-ish for monsters. And then like a good portion of them are just clones. Or just different forms. You know? So, a couple of monster choices, I have to say, that are not my favorites. Isuchi is okay. Having Great Boggy is okay. Kuliaku, okay. Rogi is okay. I feel like the fanged beast monsters have gotten their due here. They're the most... We have the most fanged beasts out of any other normal monster in this game. Of course, the other dragons still reign supreme, but the fanged beasts, they got to thrive in this game. Which I'm not... It's not a problem. Unless if it's actually implemented. So, you have an assortment of monsters. You have a litany of, like, different species left and right. Now, I have one question. Where are the Brute Wyverns? Where are the Brute Wyverns? We got Bareth here. I've seen hide nor hair of him since the earlier parts of the game, where he was nerfed to the ground since World. And then, where's any other Brute Wyvern? Oh, here we go. We got Anjanath. Anjanath's a Brute Wyvern. But, it's like... Anjanath's not even good in this game. He's easy. He's a bad example of bad programming. He's a good example of bad programming. They copy and pasted him in the game. We got him copy and pasted into the game, and it's like, where's the challenge? Even if you mount him, it's like there's no fire moves you can do with him. He's not even the hardest afflicted at all. We fought him in AR 250-ish, and he's still not a challenge. There was no multiplier for this guy. He's still as easy as he was, even as an afflicted. We got one intended, and the lazy lump of the scraps that was of what was a good monster. Yeah, rip. Yeah, fanged wyverns and fanged beasts 100% thrived in this game. Piscene's wyvern? Yeah, we got a Geratodus. Any other Pisces wyverns in here? Any other Pisces wyverns? I don't see any Pisces wyverns. I don't see any. The Magalas aren't even considered a type, you know? Flying wyverns we have more than enough of. Geratodus is neither here nor there. Where was the purpose of Geratodus? There was none. We could have gotten Plesioth in this game. I mean, here we got some useless ones here. Why do we need Almudron? Why do we need Magmudron, especially? Honestly. Why are the Mudrons even a thing? Why are they a concept, you know? We got Eructors in the Lava Caverns. A Gen 3 map, I think. I think it's Gen 3. And instead of giving us Agnactor, we get Magmudron. Yeah, exactly. He should have been Agnactor. But no, we get this forgettable subspecies. We don't need him. We don't need him. Take these monsters out of the next game. You know? Not even needed. Zinogre got the well-needed buffs it deserves. I have no arguments with Zinogre and how tough he is. There are implementations for the wire bugs in that case. I can agree, but I honestly do not think. I feel like it would have been no different if Almudron was not in the game. Espinus was a fine addition. I don't like hunting him, but I feel like he's a fine addition from Frontier. He's a fan favorite, so him being in the game makes sense. The Magalas, I'm happy they got brought back. Ceregios, I'm happy he got brought back. The Rachnas here. We got 2 Temnocerans. I didn't even know about this term until looking at Twitter. Yeah, I feel like they need to limit what they add. They need to add from Frontier into this game, or into the later iterations, unless if they get hard nerfed, because Frontier is just pure BS. It's one of the reasons why I'm never going to play that game. So we have 2 Rachnas. Rachna is an okay design. Now, question: what's the point of Pyre Rachna? Why didn't we get like Nursilla? Why didn't we get Nursilla? Nursilla is a good monster from 4U, and Nursilla is in GU as well. Their hunts are not bad at all. You can easily fight around them. He paralyzes and poisons you, but not like Espinus. But why do we have 2 Rachna variants but no Nursilla? Why don't we have that? We could have 3 Temnocerans in this game instead of just 2 that are just clones of each other. Yes, different skeletons. Yes, same skeletons. You can implement them that way. You can be modded into the game. But that's against Capcom on that one, so I can't say that much. Yeah. Hi, welcome to the stream. You're currently in the review segment of this stream, so feel free to stick around, because half of this is a review plus a rant. So do bear with it, please. Volcana, yes, we get a lot of flagship monsters in Rise, but gee, when was this not implemented before? Because we got a lot of flagships in GU. We had them in the earlier adaptations as well. We've gotten a bunch of flagships then. How is this game no different with the flagships? Yeah, we have Malzeno, we have Rathalos, we have... Yeah, Volcana is supposed to be a favorite, like a fan favorite. I don't see it. I personally don't like Volcana. It's just tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, and it's after this monster that we get the annoying annoying tail attack attacks from like other hated monsters, such as yeah. You know what? Thank you for reminding me, because there's only two things I have to say about these guys. Why nerf them? Why nerf these monsters to the ground in Rise? Remember how hard these two were in the earlier games? Why did they make them easy? They're not supposed to be easy. Rajang is supposed to be a very tough monster. Why? It's not necessary. Keep their hardness on them. Make them intimidating. They're not intimidating in this game. Not even close. This guy in his afflicted form, maybe? But that's post-game. Another unnecessary change in Capcom's part, in my opinion. Now, don't even get me started with these serpents. Can we all just agree that these serpents just don't deserve to exist? Can we all just agree that these serpents are not supposed to exist at all? Because, let's be clear. These serpents, they're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be a thing. They're not supposed to be a thing. Yeah, I don't see them. Here's what I see. Here's what I see right here. Here's what we should have gotten. Here's what we should have gotten. At the end of Rise, we should have gotten this. And then Sunbreak should have been its own thing. Sunbreak should have been an implementation of other monsters. Other fan favorites we can get, you know? I was rooting for Capcom to add Molten Tigrex into this game, but they never did. Agnactor especially, as I've already mentioned. This guy should have been implemented earlier. And we would have gotten much more going into, like, Sunbreak and, like, the very, very end of the game. We could have gotten more. We could have gotten more. There's so much that Capcom could have done in this game, but they botched it up. They botched it up. Yeah. It probably would have been more fun. You know what? I'm going to let you guys agree to disagree with me on this one, but I hate Magdamello. Magdamello, I have to officially say, is my least favorite monster in the New World, ever. And that used to be Barioth. I used to hate Barioth with a burning passion back in Iceborne because of how he plays compared to the old world. But ultimately, as I continued playing, you know, Sunbreak, Rise, I continued to hate these guys, and that hatred grew after the beta when I ended up fighting them. You guys love the design. Twitter loves the design. Everybody disagrees that this monster is a bad addition. I don't care. I hate them, honestly. Like, seriously. Fuck these guys. I hate hunting them. Yeah. I can agree with that. I mean... I mean, let's be real, Vapor. We hunted Primordial Malzeno earlier, and at one point I know we've hunted Scorned. You could honestly say that this guy is worse to fight than Primordial Malzeno. Honestly, this guy reminds me of a rejected monster in Frontier. It should have stayed in Frontier, in my opinion. But no, we get him anyway. A waste of space, in my opinion, but we got him as a flagship. Yeah, much more. My word. Yeah. The other additions to this game, I mean, I like the Bashotans, like I mentioned earlier. Kezu is just, ugh. Akanufsum is meh. Could have went for Yin Kutku, but agree, disagree. The Bird Wyverns are okay. I think I've said all I could say involving these monsters. Everything else that I haven't mentioned is okay. There's Giggies in this game? Really? You found them? I've never seen them. I've never seen the Giggies in this game. I've never seen it. I've never seen them. I've never seen the Giggies. So, if what you say is true and there are Giggies in this game, so the question now would be, where's Giganox? But since I've not seen them, I can't really say it's invalid. But if they're weird, but if what you say is true, then we should have gotten Giganox as well in this game. Ludogaren, Garen Golem, and Malzeno I think are okay designs. I like them. Gosharag, probably one of my favorite fanged beasts of all time. Katana's personal favorite as well. I think that's all I can... Oh yeah, I already brought up the Apexes earlier, actually. I actually already brought up the Apexes, but all I'm going to say, to repeat myself, is what's the point of their existence? Except for them being a carbon copy of the Deviants, but weaker, providing a challenge. We could have gotten armors from them, but we didn't. We didn't get any weapon upgrades from them either. So fighting them is only for a challenge. It's a moot point that was abandoned into like Sunbreak in comparison. So I'm not a fan. I will say that Apex Diablos is my favorite Apex to hunt because it reminds me of Bloodbath. So that's where I stand with those. Now, let's see. This map could have been better. The outpost, in my opinion, could have been better. I mean, we go from like Celiana, a more open map, to basically an outpost, a harbor. Basically a harbor. And where's the quality of life stuff that I feel we could have had in this game? I mean, look at our room. Yeah, we could change our poster. We can get like statues and stuff like that. I mean, the travel is nice, but it's like, I mean, if I booted up Iceborne right now, which I'm not going to do, or ever, but if I did, I could show you a very well classy room full of pets, full of like several forms of decorations. It was a good camping ground for like the Pack and I whenever we did hunts in Iceborne. Yeah. So I feel like the outpost is a downgrade. Now, let's go to Kimura for a second. Let's go to Kimura. I want to check out Kimura here while we continue this review. So, Kimura, pretty festive, pretty classy. Everything's just right in front of you, right where it needs to be. It would be nice if we had some like farming and whatnot. Like a lot of good stuff here and there. Like, we can get, like, a Moga farm. We can get, like, fishing done here. We get the Argosy, yeah. We have a lot of stuff we could do for, like, hunting and whatnot. Like, collecting items that we need. But I feel like they could have done more. The food is great. The dangos are great and all of that. No complaints there. I feel like Legiacris wouldn't have worked in this game because of the fact that it's supposed to be a water creature. Hence the reason why I'm hoping that Legiacris can get into another game that implements the water mechanic. That would be nice, but yeah. I mean, the Buddy Plaza looks okay. The Buddy Plaza looks nice. I think it looks pretty cool, but... yeah. A little practice area here that I hardly used. Yeah. I could see Capcom implementing it and then improving upon it, in my opinion. I do like the training grounds here, but I feel like it's subjective. I never really used it, and I just practiced on the fly. But I think it works. I think it works for what it is. The event quests are the event quests. I mean, they're okay. The actual quests are great too. ARs can use a lot of work. I mean, implement something that doesn't require us to grind on a slog to just implement levels. Just I like the gathering aspect of the tempered monsters back in Iceborne. I felt like that was a little more of a better trade. So that's the only thing I got to say about the ARs. I enjoyed it a little bit, so I can't really say too much about it. But yeah. I wonder what else I missed here. I wonder what else I missed. Because I think I covered everything. I think I did. Nice that you're playing 3U. I like 3U. Except for the one for the 3DS. I think that was a bad. I think that was a bad one. Only because of the lack of multiplayer. The event rewards are so-so. I mean, you get some money quests. I like those. The layered sets, especially the reintroduction of the buff set and some other armors. I actually like those. A couple of, like, the cosmetics you buy, I feel like were not necessary. And I feel like they could have been implemented more as, like, event rewards than, like, items you have to buy. But I guess Capcom has to find some way to make money off of this, right? So, yeah. Yeah. I mentioned how much I don't like the wire bug mechanic and how much we're dependent on the wire bug mechanic. I feel like they should implement a mechanic and make it so you could switch from one or the other, similar to, like, the older games. The emulator version does, right? For 3U. And I'm assuming it's citrus. I do agree, some quality of life involving, like, customizing your armor and stuff like that. I do agree. The customizing of weapons would be cool, too. Similar to, like, World. I think that was cool. Yeah. I was told that the older games got some net play action going on. Katana, one of my pack members, is playing Try on his Dolphin emulator through NetPlay. It is having a blast with it. Hence the reason why he has not joined us for this hunt, which I'm fine with, honestly. I don't want to hear his smoke detector. I feel like they could have done more with the Rampage weapons. I love the Rampages. It's a shame that they discarded them in Rise going into Sunbreak. I feel like they should have added more to the Rampages. They could have added, like, the Fortress monsters into it and made them more of an enjoyable experience. Can you imagine the Rampage mechanic in trying to take out, like, Shen Gioran or Lao Shen Lung? Make them more enjoyable fights. You get to implement as many cannons or, like, weapons as possible to take them down. that Capcom could have made both of those fights much more enjoyable, because you're not spending all that time trying to stop them from destroying the fortress. But imagine if you could like have that same mechanic for the rampages, but make it so that like Lao Shenlong is not just, you're not slogging around trying to hit him so he doesn't get to the fortress, but you're setting up all of the weapons you need to shoot at him, all of the attachments, all of the allies and stuff like that, all of the perks you get from Rampage. And the fact that you could implement the fact that all the monsters attacked you. You can make it so Lao Shenlong's a more aggressive monster instead of like one that's passive. They did something like that with Shen Gyoran, I recall, in Frontier. So I feel like Rampage had a great form of potential, but was just squandered in the end. This is the Shigaru Magala Laird Greatsword. I'm using the Kimura Greatsword for my current build, but yeah. But yeah. Anything else I'm missing, chat? Anything else I didn't bring up? Because I feel like I covered all angles. I truthfully feel that this game lacks polish, monsters, and certain mechanics that could have made this game even better. Oh, story, right. Thank you. Story-wise, let's see. So, two sisters who are said to, let's see, the unnamed serpents, the know nothing, see nothing, say nothing serpents, the wannabe Amatsu clones. Yeah, I feel like they could have done something with them, but I truthfully think neither of them should have existed. I feel like Rise's story was too out of this world, honestly. It was not even a psychic power involving the two sisters. I feel like that was more of like telepathy, or like some sort of sonic link to the dragons or the serpents themselves, which it was abandoned. That story was also abandoned. It felt like Capcom throughout the production of Sunbreak just said, "Oh, I see what we're doing for Rise, so let's make Sunbreak its own thing." And say, "Oh, this is an expansion pack for Rise. You all should play it because we have all this new stuff, new story, new mechanics, new this, new that." But it's like, I mean, Sunbreak would have worked that way, and it's like, can we just, make that its separate game and not just an expansion? Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to, but it's like, no. It's like one consumes the other and then takes their power for themselves and calls it a new monster. It just doesn't work. It was such a letdown. It was wasted potential that they could have done for the story on that one. Yeah, I mean, that would be great. To have those two serpents have a child, that would have been golden, honestly. It felt like that would have worked better than what we got. I feel like we could have done better. But alas, more wasted potential, more wasted opportunities by Capcom. So, I'm disappointed with that one. Sunbreak's story, on the other hand, with Malzeno destroying the castle, I feel like that wouldn't make sense. If Narua and Ibushi gave birth to Amatsu, I feel like that would have been a great insult to the dragon, and I feel like that would have been a great insult to the history that we have gotten in terms of lore in Monster Hunter up to this point. So, if they did that, I would be more pissed. I would be much more angry with them about that, What a waste. They could have made it its own monster with both of their abilities. And then roll that over into, like... Yeah. Malzeno in a Mega Turf War or Geismagorm would make sense. I mean, the story for Sunbreak should be its own thing. It should not be an expansion to Rise at all. It should be its separate game. They should be two separate entities instead of like an expansion. I mean, you're transported to the outpost in Elgato, and Elgato once was a kingdom that was supposedly destroyed by Malzeno and the Quiros. I found that concept to be fascinating. It introduced a lot of good mechanics. Well, a lot of good like maps and stuff like that. A lot of good lore and content. And then at the end of the story, realizing that it wasn't Malzeno who destroyed the kingdom and all its people, but the Quiros who manipulated it to do that. I feel like that was a good concept in and of itself. That is true. I feel like there was a lot in that story that was left up to scrutiny, and it was like, okay, so we get this, and we get this, and we get that. I do feel like there is some scrutiny to be implemented, but it is a game at the end of the day, so a lot of the stuff is not supposed to make sense logically, but it does in a gaming platform. So I feel like the story in Sunbreak is good. Malnono more with the tree lord. For Amatsu being the elder that destroyed Kagero's kingdom is neat, but put it in the game. Yeah, put the kingdom itself in the game. I agree. Oh, I'll get to Twitter in a bit. Believe me when I say that one, Vapor. I'll get to Twitter in a bit after this review. But, yeah, honestly. I do agree. But I feel like it was a great continuation of Portable Third with what they did with Amatsu. I feel like that was a great treat. I feel like it was a good treat, and it added more to Amatsu's lore. I feel like that part worked, so... Sunbreak's story by far better than the Rise's story, but both are mixed bags to me. I feel like Iceborne's story was more impactful because it had more of an environmental message to it. It was like indirect when I saw it after defeating Shara Ishvalda. I felt like Iceborne's story was more impactful. This one, on the other hand, it adds more lore to like some of the monsters in the franchise, but I don't think it's enough to really say that the story was like the best. I feel like it was okay. I feel like the story for Sunbreak is a mixed bag. I feel like Rise's story was just an abandoned project that could have been better. So, one of my gripes is Fiorain just fighting the Quiro at the end. Yeah. I mean, I probably didn't read the quest itself, but did it say slay? Did it say slay Malzeno, Primordial Malzeno, or repel? I was caught off surprised when they did that, honestly. I felt like they could have done more. Or slightly a bit more. Why not make the Quiros their own monster, you know? Add back Giganox for the Giggies, and then for the Quiros, I mean, you got Geismagorm, yeah. But maybe you can add more significance to Geismagorm for the Quiros themselves, or in some case make another form of the Quiros to have them as a separate fight. I feel like that could have been an interesting thing to tackle, but I feel like it wouldn't have mattered in the end, though. So, all right. Whew. I think I spoke a mouthful, honestly. Yeah. I feel like they could have made like a final form for Geismagorm, maybe give him wings or something. Make him like a siege monster during the rampage. I feel like that would be the first way to implement it, and then have like this final battle where it says, oh, Geismagorm has retreated, we can't let him escape. And then we follow him to his nest that turns out to be like this giant version of hell, and we're fighting him in like this giant version of hell, where you have to worry about the environment as well as the monster itself. I feel like that would have been a fascinating way to make Geismar more of an important monster. The skills of the game are good. I did like the skills. I feel like Defiance was a very good addition of the game. But yeah, it's fascinating. It's fascinating how many ideas I can think of to make this game better. But you know, these big corporate companies, these big companies that want to see more green instead of like creative progress, actually make it into everybody's eyes. It's really sad. A couple of my pack members who are from the old world don't even like Sunbreak. I do agree that it was very well thought out, honestly. They were very well thought out. I agree with that. It made each set really good. I still don't like Crimson Glow. Risen Crimson Glow's gear, I still don't like it. I feel like that was the only one I felt like that was just not worth it. Otherwise, yeah. I agree. I agree. Monster Hunter 4U's story was amazing. Oh my god. I miss Gogamazios. Dalamander, all those good monsters in 4U. I missed that. Oh my god, those were great monsters. I enjoyed every minute of Gen 4. Oh my god. That was great, honestly. I loved it. Alas, though, this is the new world. Oh yeah, it very much felt personal, definitely. The frenzy system in that game was phenomenal. It made the Apex monsters in this game even worse, because when you hear Apex, you hear, for older players, you hear, oh my god, they're coming back. Apex Double Joe, Apex Rajang, Apex Sirigios. All these frenzied monsters that you have to use a specific stone to cut through, because you hit them with your weapon, it deflects. You have to do so much to kill them. Oh my god. But then we get this. And it's like, what? What am I fighting? Am I fighting another version of this deviant clone? Oof. Enough said about the Apexes. I did like the option of the translation team for you to play this either in English or Japanese or in Hunter language. I did like that implementation. It made the game more enjoyable, because I feel like I actually listened to the English version of this game, and the audio for English, it just was so cringe. I didn't like that too much, honestly. I always enjoyed it in Japanese. It feels more real. Yeah. That's the only problem with it, so they should have just called it something else in that matter. So overall, I gotta say, yeah, I agree. I feel like, yeah. 3U is a great game. I recommend getting into it because, yeah, 3U is great. I feel like it's more complete, but I feel like everybody's playing more Try than 3U, but I like both games. Gen 3 was great, in my opinion. But yeah, my rating for this game is a 6.5 out of 7. It's a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. 6.5 to 7 out of 10. 6 being the lowest, 7 being the highest, but where I put it, 6.5 out of 10. That's where I put my rating for this game. And that's less than what I put for Iceborne, which I gave, I think, like an 8 out of 10. So, yeah. Here's looking to you, Capcom. Hopefully Monster Hunter 6 ends up being better. I thought it was World 2. I made that mistake. I didn't look more into it. It's a mobile game that I didn't know about. So Um, that's debatable. Gen 3 and 4 being the climax of the series is debatable because I feel like GU was the climax for the old world in general because it brought everything together. With a whopping 92 monsters to hunt in the game. You cannot ask for more content than what GU has provided for you. You know what I mean? It's why I feel like GU's one of the better modern old world games. I like 3U, I like 4U, but I feel like GU just does it slightly better than those two. I feel like that was the climax of the old world right there. 109. Oof. Yeah, dude. I'm still playing GU to this day. I'm not even done with it. I have a few EXs to hunt solo before I'm done with that game. You know what I mean? I finished Iceborne and Sunbreak before GU. I'm still not done with that game. I'm still not done with it. Both of those games were relatively short, one having more monsters over the other. But it's like, I'm still not done. This game I'm done. Iceborne I'm done. But GU still has more content. You guys can't tell me that it has more, that there's not enough content. I miss Molten Tigrix. I liked Molten Tigrix. Back in 4U, Molten Tigrix's set was basically just... Molten Tigrix's set was basically the best set in the game, in my opinion. I didn't even use Greatsword in that game. I used Switch Axe with Molten's gear. It was phenomenal. I loved it. It was probably the strongest Switch Axe in the game. Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it. Honestly. I have mixed feelings about it, I gotta say. I have mixed feelings about it. So... Alright. Review time is over. Now I got some stuff to I got some stuff to get off my chest here. And this is actually under the impression of yeah. You see, before I booted up the game and did my stream today, I put my review on Twitter. Funny enough. This may be some drama on my part or some like miscommunication on my part, but let's see. If any of you are children, feel free to go to the other room because this is gonna get ugly. So I'm not a Monster Hunter streamer. I just stream games. I like to play the games that I play. I'm an open person. I like to give my opinions here and there, you know? I could be a nice individual. I could be mean. I could be cynical. I could be dark. I can be a numerous amount of things. But I'm me. I do not hide underneath a mask. In fact, this kind of drama I had back when I was playing Iceborne, as a matter of fact. I had a former member of my community who I used to play with in Iceborne. But it's also one of the reasons why I no longer play. I was hardcore cyberbullied. I was trash talked. I was the target for a lot of malice by this one person. He was out to ruin my life. And if it wasn't for my pack, I would not be here today, if anything. Peanut Butter, Zostern, Abel, Katana. I would not be where I am without them. And I thank them for it, honestly. And they taught me a few things about social media. For starters, never trust it. Secondly, don't take shit from anyone. So, I gotta show this to you guys. So, I don't use social media that much, you know? This is my Twitter. I mostly use it just to publish or just to notify of, like, my latest uploads or my latest, like, like my latest streams. That's all I really use this for, you know? Sometimes I go here and there and I respond to others on Twitter. Twitter is a dangerous place. I recommend steering clear from it unless you know what you're doing. So, yeah. Yeah. It's hilarious. Here's a tweet I posted for Monster Hunter here. Thoughts on the bonus update. Here's what I put it. A fitting end to a game that still needs more polish and monsters. Rating 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Basically what I've said. Basically what I said to you guys, but in a more expanded format. Because social media is not a big format, you're not gonna have enough room to speak. Now, this is a little bit of a mistake on my part. Hopefully Monster Hunter World 2 doesn't disappoint. That was before I realized it was a mobile game. That was my mistake. I didn't know. I follow Twitter primarily for new content on like games that are coming out, Monster Hunter specifically as well, even though I'm not part of their community. As a matter of fact, what you two don't know, or as for the rest of the viewers here don't know, both active and lurking, I'm not part of a community. I'm not part of any community, if anything. The Wolfblood Brotherhood is my own created community, because I feel like I don't fit in anywhere else. I'm Lone Wolf Prime for a reason, you know? I have no friends. I have people I play with. I have like-minded people. Peanut Butter, Abel, Katana, Zostern. All the people in my Discord who are alpha members, they're my circle of trust. They're the ones who assist me with these certain situations, and I almost took that for granted a couple years ago. And funny enough, I almost let these things get to me. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. This may seem unnecessary to me or to others at this point, but it's like, yeah, I've been told when I'm being trash talked or if I'm meeting toxic people, ignore them, stay away from them. Don't stoop to their level. Report, block, mute. So, this will probably be the only time ever on my channel that I'll actually do this. So, I post my tweet. Here, right? So, here are the replies I got. Whatever I hearted is okay. What I hearted is okay. Holy shit, this has to be bait, right? Nope. Not bait. So, yeah. Here's what I do to people who say this shit to me. Get out. Lamau, maybe they'll use 2 to 3 skeletons to just constantly reskin them in World 2. Maybe just make you whiners happy. Blah, blah, blah. 2 years ago, this would have bothered me. But no, it doesn't. So, get the fuck out of here. Here's your World 2. I agree. The game is polished and had more diverse monsters than World. Yeah, funny. I already went through all that. That's not true. Had more monsters than World and Iceborne, LOL. World 2 would not fix this apparent problem of needing more monsters. I didn't know. Sorry to ruin your dreams, but there won't be Monster Hunter World 2 at all. Next game will be different setting and all that. More polishing isn't possible since it's a Switch game. Debatable. Because we got GU. GU is imported from the 3DS into this game, into the Switch. And it didn't disappoint. So, I disagree with that one. Boy, what crack are you smoking? Can you imagine how dumb these people are? All for one tweet? All for my opinion? Get the fuck out of here. Never be this guy here. Never be this guy. I like how the replies to this comment have been pretty tame, but I'll just say, shut the fuck up, you entitled dumbass. Excuse me, if I'm as useless, or if my opinions are as useless as a mat lit underwater, and this should have been what happened to me, then you're nothing more than a tiny speck in the grander scheme of things. You're what I shit into a toilet. Get the fuck out of here. Both of you. Literally. Grow the fuck up, people. Grow the fuck up. It's just a game. It's just a game. I'll say, well, I'm not offensive here. In what way was I offensive here in this? I was just saying it as is. I'm a nice individual. I'm an angry person too. It's one of the reasons why I avoid certain games on my streams. But then it's like, I don't need this shit. I don't need any of it. Life is hard as it is. So, thank you, Abel, Peanut Butter, and Katana for teaching me this lesson. And take this as a lesson for you guys as well who decide to go on social media, and for you Twitter babies who are lurking that I have not hearted on this. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. It's a game. Social media is not meant for this sort of thing. You want to make it into a cesspool, I won't stop you. But keep me out of that loop. Literally. I only play with you and another guy on Twitch because people talk down because I'm lower rank. Don't let them. Dude, don't let them. Don't let them. Who cares? Who cares if you're lower rank? Oh, please excuse that. I accidentally dropped my controller. Who cares about your rank, dude? You're a fun guy to play with, and your rank should not matter. Rank doesn't matter. All you rank supremacists in the Monster Hunter community, be ashamed of yourselves. Grow up. Seriously. This is why I'm not part of a big community. This is why I have my own community that I'm trying to build, you know? I don't need you people. I don't need you elitists or you toxic douchebags to, you know, I don't need those bad vibes. You bring that into my streams, it's permabanned. And in fact, I'm going to tell you all, I only have one actual person on Twitch who is permabanned. One person. Everyone else is like an ad bot or whatnot, but this guy tried to ruin my life through social media. Tried to kill Lone Wolf Prime as a name for myself, basically. Almost killed my identity. Almost stole my accounts too, almost hacked me. Can you imagine that? Go get a life. Go get a life, dude. Not to you guys, chat, but to this one person. So, no. Don't let them talk down to you because you're lower rank. Let your skills be the deciding factor on what makes you a player, you know? Don't take it. Don't take it. Put your money where your mouth is. Well, not literal money, but you know what I mean. Prove to them that you're more capable than you say. I don't care about a person's rank, honestly. So, any other Monster Hunter game I pull up here to play, and I'm playing it, you're down to play, and you ask me to play, by all means, you're always welcome here. You're always welcome here. You're not toxic, you're not mean, and you try, and we're having fun. That's literally the purpose of these streams, is just to have some fun. To have fun with the games that I enjoy playing so much. Whether it be just solo and just talking about my experiences with you guys, or games like this, where, you know, I'm just having a good time. You know what I mean? Again, all you Twitter babies, all you community All you community rejects out there who want to be toxic and bring others down, grow the fuck up and get lives. Go get lives. I'm a nobody. None of this phases me. I've already been through it. I survive every day doing this or that just to get around. I'm over it. I'm over a lot of these things, you know? Go get lives. Grow up. It's just a game. One little opinion and you're giving me threats on social media. I shouldn't have been born. Shut the fuck up. Your opinion doesn't matter. Everybody's opinion matters. Freedom of speech. You know? Yeah. My apologies for all of you who had to be there to witness that. I do promise that yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all understanding what I'm talking about here. I apologize for bringing it up. It was a very fun night. Yeah. None of us are any better or lesser than the other. We're all equal. I don't think of myself as something grandiose. Not at all. I mean, have you seen how people are? How all these big shots are sometimes? They think they're bigger than they already are. It's sickening. I don't like watching it. I don't want to be like them. I want to be me. I want to be the best me that I can be. I make it a rule every day to learn from my mistakes, so I don't repeat them. Those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. That's my philosophy on life. So I hope all of you hope you all enjoyed that lesson, honestly, because I'm not going to do that again. I feel like if I do that, it's just going to destroy the vibes that I'm trying to put with each stream that I play, and it just detracts others from wanting to, you know, come by, watch, and hang out. I appreciate you all understanding where I am at that point, you know. I very much appreciate it. You're the real ones. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to both, honestly. I very much appreciate the support on this one. Yeah. I know you're both being serious, and I very much appreciate it. I appreciate the support. You're the real ones. You're not fake. I very much appreciate it, and I would love to have people like you in future streams. I really do it, honestly. Let's make this community a positive one. Let's purge the toxicity. Let's purge all of this unneeded pressure, unneeded supremacy. Let's be a community that has fun, enjoys each other's company, likes games, likes to play them. Leave your emotional garbage at the door. Leave your politics out the door. It's all unwritten rules saying they're not welcome here. You want to be toxic? Go somewhere else. You continue being toxic here, either here or in the Discord, then guess what? You're permabanned. Your kind is not welcome here. We do not promote toxicity. So, with that being said here, thank you all for watching my Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak streams. Hell yeah!